We are here for Success Starts Here, our welcome to school event for all of our Utah Jazz Scholars. We're excited to welcome you all here tonight. We have a dynamic group of staff here today to answer any questions, cover a couple of points for you all to know before the start of the school year, and to make sure you all start off the school year ready and prepared. Before we get started into the nitty gritty details, I'm gonna hand the mic off to the team to introduce themselves, and then we'll take it on from there. So Stephanie.
Okay, sorry, I had to unmute. Hello, everyone. I am Stephanie Hamilton, the scholarship manager here at 10,000 Degrees. I've been here for just over 5 years, and I'm very excited to be here. Jin?
Hello. Most of you guys know me probably already by now. I probably texted you like at least 20 times. Jin Choi, Director of Scholarships. It's a pleasure to be here. I've been working at 10,000 Degrees for 11 years now. Let me ask a question. How come there's so many Fat Wens on that's everybody's named Fat Wen? Is that a weird thing with Zoom?
I think they're logged in on multiple devices.
There's like 8 Fat Wens that are present. No? All right. Well, it's good seeing you guys anyways, and all of you Fat Wens.
Hi, everyone. My name is Mabel Caro. I'm the Utah Jazz Advisor for 10,000 Degrees. As you probably already know, if you've met with me, I recently graduated from college and now I'm with 10,000 Degrees. It's good to see you all, and thank you for coming today.
Hi, everybody. My name is Nichelle Hau Gutierrez. I'm the program manager for 4-year success and alumni. So I work really closely with Maybell, and some of y'all have had a chance to meet me already. I've been working at the org for almost 2 years now.
And hello, everybody. I'm Carla Santiago. I'm the program director that works with the 4-year success and alumni team. I've met many of you via text, phone calls, or one-on-one check-ins these past couple months, and I've been part of the organization for the past 5 years. And so to kickstart us off today, just as a reminder, you all are now receiving your Utah Jazz Scholarship, which is managed by 10,000 Degrees. And when we start working with you all as college students, we always want to remind you all that we are here to support you to and through college, regardless of that pathway. We know that there's going to be ups and downs. It's going to be a roller coaster of emotions, of decisions you have to make throughout your academic journey, whether it takes 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years to graduate. And we want to let you know that we are here never to judge, but to provide a listening space to help you navigate your undergraduate career, and so that you can make a best informed decision for yourself and ultimately graduate from your institution. Know that each one of us here as 10,000 Degrees staff have navigated the college going journey to some capacity, have definitely been first gen low income, students of color. And so we definitely understand what it means to be having those highs and lows of college. And so know that you can lean on us in any way possible to look for support or to find the best resource for yourself so that you can be successful throughout your academic journey. And it's why we're here tonight, to help answer any question when it comes to regards to your scholarship, next steps, on navigating your advisor and our programming. And so I'm gonna hand it off to the scholarship team.
I was on mute, sorry. So I know I think we've met before and we've introduced ourselves in the last last orientation we have, but this is our team right now. We're short one. We're in the process of hiring. But next slide, please. So essentially everybody needs to be full-time. So hopefully all of you guys are going to be 12 units. Most of the times that's considered full-time in most schools. If you're going to be less than 12 units, please reach out to Maybell, and then we'll try to work with you. And every semester, we really want you to, get at least a 2.0 GPA. If you don't get a 2.0 GPA, we want to work with you. So, if you have multiple semesters where you get below 2.0, you will be in jeopardy with financial aid, not just with us, but also in financial aid, your FAFSA financial aid, because a lot of the FAFSA requires you to also maintain a 2.0 GPA. And if you have 2 semesters where you fall below that, then you may be disqualified future semesters. But like I said, we want to work with you. We understand college is tough. The transition from high school to college is tough. So we'll plug you into some tutoring or whatever, some on-campus resources if you're struggling. But just reach out to Maybell as soon as you can if you guys are like struggling with classes. Maybe the best thing would be for you is to maybe just drop a class, before, and withdraw from it before, whatever. Just reach out to Maybell. Next. Yeah, that's kind of what I just said. So when do you receive your money? So right now, I know I've been trying to work with all you guys to, calculate how much money you're going to get. I've been working with your school's financial aid office. I've been hounding you guys, texting you, emailing you to get your FAFSA to your financial aid office. You need to do that every year because they're the ones that tell me how much money you have. They have to calculate all the other financial aid that you receive, and then the Utah Jazz is going to cover the rest. So let's say your cost of attendance is $30,000, right? And you're getting $10,000 in other scholarships from the FAFSA and from the school. So we'll provide the remaining $20,000. And so we'll send your school a check, $10,000 each semester. It'll pay whatever your direct costs are, whether it be the tuition and fees, or if you're living on campus, we're going to pay for your tuition, fees, and dorms, and the meal plan. And then you should get a refund check at each semester. It's going to vary depending on, if you live off campus, your refund check will probably be larger than if you live on campus. But you'll get a refund check, and that money you can use to, buy books or reimburse yourself for books or other costs for school. This is a little bit, I know it's kind of complicated in everybody's situation. You may have a unique situation. And if you have further questions about that, please reach out. And so we're going to send the check directly to the school. And so right now, you guys have probably already received the award acceptance. And if you haven't, please reach out to Maybell, because that award acceptance is what's going to allow you for us to send the check to the school, because you have to put your fall schedule and you have to attach your financial aid and FERPA forms and stuff. I'm gonna explain a little bit about that, each of those things later, but you have to complete that form and send it back to us before I can send the check. So some of you guys have already done that, and that's great, and your checks are going out to the school. I would give it probably like 2 or 3 weeks, because that's what I've noticed is when the students, we send the check out, they get the check that week, but it still takes them some time to process that refund check for you. So I would just continue to check in with the financial aid and bursar's office at your school about the refund check. And then please reach out to us if for some reason you don't get it in the next 2 weeks after you complete your award acceptance. Next. So yeah, we emailed that award acceptance link to you, so fill it out as soon as possible. And like I said, once you fill that out, attach your schedule and your financial aid forms, we'll send the check out to your school. So right now you're gonna need to upload your fall schedule, and you should be able to find your fall schedule on your school portal. And if you are having trouble navigating that or finding your fall schedule, reach out to us. We can assist you with that, but we need to see that you're in school at least full time before we can send you your check. So we have some examples of what to send us and what not to send us. So most of the time you can go to your school portal and you can go click on your unofficial transcript and then save it as a PDF and attach it. The next slide shows like some examples of that. So we want something like what's on the left. It has to have the school, your name, has to list the classes and the number of units on there. We don't want your schedule, because the thing on the right is for you. Like sometimes the school portal will have that for you to like help you, plan out stuff, but those things don't have, usually they don't have the name of the school, they don't have your name, they don't have units sometimes, and so we need the unofficial transcript that's on the left. We also want a copy of your financial aid award letter, and again, that's also available on your school portal. Usually it breaks down the types of aid that you get. Like most of you, or some of you, will be eligible for the federal Pell Grant. Some of you will be getting like the institutional grant aid, and so your financial aid award letter will break those things down, and we want you to attach that as well to the award acceptance email that we send you. And then finally, we want you to just write a thank you letter. Your donor is the Utah Jazz. We just want, just a, it doesn't have to be an extensive letter. It can just say, thank you so much, Utah Jazz, for the scholarship. It's going to help me to pay for tuition and books and things like that. So I really appreciate you. It goes a long way. Thank you. And then lastly is a FERPA. You guys have already actually done that, but if you can just do it again on the award acceptance link, that would be, it's just real quick. It's just, you just mark your name and click a couple boxes. But it's similar to the FERPA form that you guys had sent us earlier. So I'm sorry we are making you guys jump through so many hoops, but if you can just do it again, that'd be great. And then some important deadlines is that this scholarship is renewable. So that's really important for you to know that we want to, this is good for 4 years. And so and what you need to do to get it next year is just reapply. We will send you a link in January where it'll be the same thing. You'll attach, instead of your fall schedule, you're going to attach your fall grades and your spring schedule. And then that's gonna, once you submit that to us, we'll send the second part of your check to your school. But at the same time that you're doing that, you can also reapply for next year. And so that's going to be very important, because if you don't reapply, we can't award you a scholarship. So we're going to send that to you in January. And if you can just, I think it's due March 2nd, but if you can just, the sooner you turn that stuff into us, the sooner we can send you your check and also process your scholarship for next year, FY24. So where do I find my financial aid award letter? It'll be on the school portal. Reach out to us if you are having trouble locating it. Some of you may not have financial aid, which is fine. If you don't, then you can, what should you do? You should probably just like attach a Microsoft Word doc or something that says, I don't have scholarships, or I wasn't given any scholarships, but please make sure that you don't just say that because you don't want to do it. Like, if you have financial aid, if you filled out a FAFSA, you should get some sort of financial aid. So please let us know and we'll help you look for it. And I kind of already went over how the school receives your scholarship check. I'm mailing it out to them. And then, like I said, it takes a while for them to process the check, pay whatever's left over, and get you your refund check. So like if we mailed it out today, they'll probably get it later this week, early next week. And then hopefully you should get your refund check within 2 weeks of that period. That's kind of what I've seen. I would check in with the school, the bursar's office and the financial aid office earlier to see like if they received it. Sometimes if you bug them a lot, they'll prioritize your check because they have a lot of students. Like if you're going to a big school like University of Utah, they probably have a ton of students getting scholarship checks. And so everybody has a different contact. So your financial aid office will be different. So there are people that you can contact at your school's financial aid office. Reach out to Maybell and she can get you that information so that you can contact them directly to see if the school's received your check. I think there was a question about how books work, and I'll get into that, I think on the next page. So every school has a cost of attendance, and this is one that I took from the University of Utah. So like the University of Utah has for residents, the tuition and fees is $9,000. If you want to live on campus, the room and board is $12,000. So those are what's considered direct costs. So those are you're going to be paying to the school. So we cover that. Whatever your financial aid doesn't cover, we'll cover the rest. But we'll also cover the additional $960 for books and supplies, $3,600 for miscellaneous, and then another. Carla just blocked me. How do I get rid of it? There you go. All right. So the transportation is $1,332. So those additional indirect costs are what you'll get back in a refund check at the University of Utah, for example. And so that's for the year. So you have to split that into two. So it's 960 plus 36 plus 1300 divided by 2. And that's what you should get back for each semester to help you pay for books and supplies and miscellaneous fees. And so that's kind of how you might want to like get your books earlier, because if the refund check doesn't come, you guys should get your books as soon as possible, and then you can just reimburse yourself with a refund check. But that's how that works. And I know this is okay. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. It's Carla, man. So who should you contact? So please contact, you can contact me. You already have my information. You can contact me about anything related to the scholarship check status. If you want to know did you mail it out? Do you have everything you need from me to get the scholarship check out? Those you can send to me. Everything else, please reach out to Maybell. And I know some of you guys have already been meeting with her one-on-one, and that's great. She's going to be like your main point of contact for 10,000 Degrees. So please reach out to her for anything. Next, I think I'm done. Yeah, so I'm gonna stay after. If you guys have further questions, I'll be here after. We can have a little Q&A, but now it's pass it on to Carla. Thank you.
Please feel free to keep adding your questions in the chat. Somebody on the team will either privately message you to respond, or we'll drop it in the chat for everybody to learn from it. But just like I said, I am Carla Santiago. I work with the 4-year success team to provide resources and support to all of you as students. And so today you're going to get to know a couple of us. We are a team of 12 in the future, but you all will be directly working with your team of Utah Jazz staff. Which, as you've heard us toss the name out there multiple times, Mabel Caro is your senior fellow who is supporting you right now into navigating your matriculation into your college campus. Mabel joined us earlier this summer and has been rapidly meeting with you all one-on-one to make sure that you all, one, get to know her, but also become familiar on what it means to be navigating your undergraduate career. I'm excited to announce that your support team will be growing throughout these next couple of months. We're currently hiring for a second senior fellow, so a second advisor to be working with you all to start throughout this fall term. So anticipate me sending an email update to introduce this new individual once we hire them on and onboard them. There will be 2 fellows total working with you all and navigating your college career. Simultaneously, as you have met Nacheli, who has been either hosting one-on-ones with you all and seen any financial aid questions these past couple months. Nacheli works with Mabel currently to provide that support and making sure that all your questions get answered in a timely manner. You all know what dates to follow and where to be showing up when you are needed. Anticipate Nacheli to be phasing out of that role a little bit, since we are actually going to be hiring a program manager to be supporting all of you all as scholars also throughout this fall. This program manager, once we hire them on and onboard them, like the senior fellow role, I will be introducing them via email to you all to get acquainted with them, and they will be that additional point of contact for you all. But in the meantime, know that you can reach out directly to Mabel, and myself and Nacheli will be, and Jeanette by extension as a program manager, will be supporting her in helping you navigate all of your college going questions as you start the school year. And so to get to know what we actually do with you all, what to expect throughout the school year, we're going to cover just some basics on our advising program.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Again, my name is Nichelle, and I'm the program manager working with Utah Jazz students for now until a new manager is hired. So I will be going over the college success programming that's available to you and what to expect this year. So all Utah Jazz students have access to college success advising. Your advisor is Maybell. As Carla mentioned, you will soon meet a second advisor who we will introduce once we've hired them. So Maybell has been emailing everyone to schedule an initial meeting with students. Right, this is her way of getting to know everybody and also learning more about how to support you in your college journey. So this includes supporting you with adjusting to the coursework, to the classes that you are taking, as well as adjusting to a new living environment. A lot of y'all have like moved away from home, and that is a transition within itself. So that is also something that you can talk to Mabel about. And also just in general, the college going environment. So having to navigate and getting familiar with your college, getting familiar with the services that are available to you, all of that, Maybell can also help you navigate as well. And then working on healthy habits. So what does it mean to be a student? Sometimes the way that we approach our work as high school students might differ from being a college student. So again, as you're doing this exploration and learning about who you are as a student, you can also check in with Maybell for tips. Anything related to like personal finances, with the scholarship reimbursement that y'all will get, you will definitely need to budget out how much you are wanting to spend from that every month. You're receiving the scholarship check twice a year. So again, you kind of have to allocate a budget to what your spending will look like monthly. So again, if you want to talk more about that with Maybell, she's also available for that. And then when it's time to fill out the financial aid application, whether you're filling out the FAFSA, the California Dream Act, she can also support you with filling out that application. And anything related to just building community on campus. So as you're getting familiar with your campus and learning more about the communities that are available to you, whether it's getting involved in sports or getting involved in clubs or anything related to that, again, Maybell can also help you find different resources on campus. And if you are interested in learning more about opportunities, she can also help you with that research. So advisors have a calendar link with a lot of different availability, a lot of different days and times for you. So you have access to that through the link that Maybell will continue to share with you. You will also receive weekly emails with resources and information. So one of the transitions of being a college student is just monitoring your email a lot more closely. So if there is an email that you have on file right now that you don't really look at and you want to update your email, maybe it's you want to update it to your campus like student email, just let us know so that we can get the best email to outreach to you, so that when we're sharing resources, sharing Maybell's Calendly link, any information that's relevant, that you're getting that and you're able to see it as soon as possible. So more about our year-round programming. Students will also have community building opportunities. We're going to be planning some events for y'all to be able to continue to get to know each other, especially because there are 6 main campuses that we support as part of the Utah Jazz Scholarship. So it'll be great for y'all to feel connected to one another as you also navigate the university. We will also have virtual office hours. So again, our appointments will be available through Zoom, but we'll also have drop-in hours for students as well. And you will be invited to career exposure events where you'll get to learn more about career opportunities, how to apply to internships or jobs while you're in college, and also preparing to do that once you graduate from college. So it's just a good way to get exposure in what being a young professional is. And now I'll pass it back to Carla to talk a little bit more about our career success advising.
So we're excited to start off this school year because we have our new career success director, Ann Schnur, who is rapidly working on providing career success programming throughout this academic school year, and is already meeting with internship partners throughout the US to be able to provide those opportunities to you all. Anticipate to be receiving bi-monthly career success newsletters at the start of September, where you will be able to get highlights on what opportunities are available, upcoming events, or just how to opt into any of our career mentorship programming that we will be providing throughout the next couple months. When it comes to our career success advising model, we provide things revolving around the career basics of like interview prep, creating your LinkedIn profile, which many of you attended our first workshop in June for. We provide cover letter and resume support throughout the year. And then we also leverage our alumni network and Young Professionals Council into providing mentorship throughout the academic school year and throughout the summer so that you're best prepared for any interviews you may be having, or even just as you're trying to explore what your career pathway looks like, so that ultimately through our programming, you know what you are navigating when you graduate from college and have a plan in place. And when it comes to finding your first full-time job, once it's time to get to that point. We also have our internship.10000degrees.org website where we provide live updates. We have constant blog posts happening. We provide detailed updates on all the summer internships, where we vary of having open-ended internships where there's a larger pool of students applying to, but then we also have our guaranteed internships, where these are internships that are specifically just for 10,000 degree students like yourselves. And so you're just competing amongst 10,000 degrees group of students. And then we're also promoting out any career, college to career programming that may be put on by any community-based organization that we're in partnership with for you to opt into. You'll hear things like MLT, the Ascent program and such throughout the next couple of months from your resource emails coming from Mabel. And so know that these are all career enriching opportunities for you to opt into. I always say that you get the most out of this by saying yes. And so know that you can opt into any of these programmings throughout the year, from our events to potentially maybe like doing a site visit to signing up for a shadow day with somebody out in Utah. So just know that our career success director, Ann, will be sending you all bi-monthly emails for you to be up to date on what's happening in the career world.
Thank you, Carla and Shelley, for that information. And in addition to talking more about advising, we also just wanted to go over a start of the year checklist so that not only you're prepared to start your academic year strong, but also just preparing to meet with me, your advisor. And so the first thing is, have you scheduled an initial meeting for specifically first year students with your advisor through Calendly? And I'll be sharing the link in the chat shortly, but you can do so through Calendly. There'll be available dates, times, and I like to tell students if they would like to meet with me sooner than my availability says, just feel free to reach out to me and email me so that I can accommodate throughout my weekly schedule as well. And in our initial meetings, we go through a matriculation checklist that allows me to get to know not only you better just as a person, as a student, but also just getting to know where you're at in your college experience and journey. And that includes whether or not you've submitted your financial aid form, so specifically FAFSA or CADA, and making sure that your school has verification that they've received your financial aid form. In addition, also checking in regards to where you'll be living throughout your first year, whether it's on campus or off campus, just making sure if you've submitted your housing application and are confirmed to move in, if you are doing either of those two things. Additionally, we also touch upon whether or not you've attended or enrolled in orientation, as well as if you registered for classes. And just as Jen mentioned, we do touch upon how many credits you're taking for your first term so that we know whether or not you're enrolling in those full-time credits. And also lastly, just making sure whether or not you're able to attend the Utah Jazz Back to School event, just seeing where you're at in your RSVP and seeing if you have done so. And lastly, in addition to having an initial meeting with you and just getting to know you and getting to know where you're at in your matriculation process, we also encourage students to not only explore what resources are available at 10,000 Degrees, but also explore what your campus provides. Because I think that I know when I was a college student, starting that first year, a huge part of my journey was doing a lot of Google searching and a lot of networking in terms of getting to know what my own resources look like at my own college campus. And so we do believe that not only is it important to reach out to 10,000 Degrees for support, but also looking at where around you at your campus and seeing what resources are provided there too. And that includes identifying tutoring services, as well as looking into any student organizations that you want to be a part of during your fall term if you'd like to get involved, as well as identifying any mental health resources and support on campus that you feel like you'd need on a personal level to ensure that you just feel mentally ready and confident for your academic term. And lastly, we have been posting a lot of exciting things on our Instagram at 10KD Success for college tips throughout the year. We recently just uploaded a moving on and off campus post that provides students some valuable advice from not just me, but from our other advisors at 10,000 Degrees on our 4-year team. So feel free to check that out and take a look at that when you have the time.
And so what to anticipate next? I'll hand it off to Nichelle.
Yes. Okay. So we went over a lot today, and to wrap up, we'll be going over just what comes next. Definitely don't forget that communication is key. If you have a question and you're not sure where to begin, you can always start with us. You can always reach out to us. Like Maybell said, add us on Instagram. We post reminders, updates, and just resources for all of our students that are currently at four-year universities. So if you haven't followed us yet, please check out that page. And your advisor will continue to reach out to you by email, phone, and text message. So you can meet with them over Zoom or schedule a phone call with them. They will also have virtual drop-in hours. So please stay connected with us and reach out. Even if it's just to let us know how you're doing. It's always nice to just get an update from students. Again, even if it's just a really good update.
And so just as a big update, know that for those of you that opted in for a laptop, they are currently in the mail, fresh off the press. We're anticipating many of you to receive it at the latest, the beginning of next week. So just keep an eye out for that. We are keeping track of them being delivered. I think we last saw they were like somewhere in SoCal. So just anticipate your laptops to be delivered throughout the next couple of days. Once you receive your laptop, please make sure to just send a text to Mabel to confirm that you received it so that we know it made it there safely. Just like the scholarship team said, the checks are actively being mailed out currently. And so as you complete your fall acceptance, anticipate a couple of weeks of turnaround, but just know that for many of you who already submitted, the checks have already been mailed out to your school. Feel free to reach out to Mabel or the scholarship team if you have any questions about that. but just give us a bit of a grace period for that to be processed by your schools. And I know many of you were asking this question either in the chat or as Jen was talking earlier. Reminder, when it comes to reimbursements, you can pay yourself back once you receive your reimbursement check from your school, once they process your scholarship amount that they receive for the fall term. Again, you receive 2 disbursements, one for the fall and one for the beginning of January, the spring term. And so anticipate to be able to reimburse yourself for like school book costs or maybe any housing deposits that you have paid already to be reimbursed via that check that you receive once the school processes the payment. And lastly, this Friday, August 19th, there will be an event for you all being provided by the Utah Jazz as a welcome back to school event. It will be happening at Zion's Bank at the basketball campus. Know from 6 to 8 that you are expected to be able to participate in there and to RSVP. The dress code is a casual dress, and so please anticipate to be there on time for that day. Reach out if you have any questions prior to this event for us to be able to answer any of your questions. And with that being said, I want to open it up for any questions that may be out there for you all. If you have no questions, feel free to log off. We are done for the day, but feel free to unmute yourself or drop a question in the chat for us to be able to answer.
Just a reminder that the back to school event is just for you. Like there's no, you can't bring a guest. So like it'll just be you. They can drop you off, but the event is just for you.
Yes, they do have a head count for the event. So yes, it's just for you for this event. So please keep that in mind when attending this Friday. Any questions?
Also, that example that I showed you guys of the cost of attendance, that's specific to the University of Utah. I just want to make sure that you guys know that every school is different. So if you go to Weber or Utah State, they have their own numbers. So that number that I showed you was an example from the University of Utah's website.
I
just have a question.
Oh, go.
Sorry, you can say what you're gonna say.
There was a question in the chat about the recording. Yes, this event was recorded today. I will be sharing this out, or Mabel will be sharing this out via email once available. And so anticipate to receive the slide deck and the recording after the event today. What was your question?
Okay, so in our email about like the scholarship award, it gave like a dollar amount. I was just wondering, because that's not like what we were told. Is that just random, or was that actually the correct amount?
No, that's the correct amount. What do you mean? That's not the amount that you were told by the school?
By the like the cost of attendance that we looked up, because it was a lot lower in the email than the actual cost of attendance.
It's the cost of attendance less any other scholarships that you are going to receive. So like whatever, like let's say you got a $10,000 scholarship from the school, they're going to take away $10,000 from the cost of attendance, and then we pay the rest. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it was still like lower than that though. That's why I was confused.
You can.
I tried to email Maybell, but it's
that one. Why don't you stay on with me afterwards and I can double check those numbers for you.
Okay, thank you.
I also have a question.
Yes.
So for the fall acceptance, when we had it to submit, I think the screenshots for the financial letter and the schedule, if we, because I remember submitting like what I thought it was, if like we submitted something that was wrong, were we supposed to get an email saying, oh yeah, this is not what we're like looking for, or?
Yeah, you'll get an email from us saying, please submit something else.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. Thank you.
There was a question on the chat. It said, if we transfer schools, can the scholarship transfer as well? Yes, as long as it's to one of the 6 schools that we like recover. It has to be University of Utah, Utah State, Weber, Utah Valley, or what's the last one? BYU.
BYU.
Yeah.
So I had a question. It was similar to like the check and stuff. I got an amount already in my account, but I don't know what it's like. I don't know. I just want to see the numbers and why I got that amount. If that makes sense.
Yeah, the numbers, I didn't like make it up. So it comes from your financial aid office.
Yeah.
Once they get the FAFSA, and they're the ones that do the calculations. So they basically get your cost of attendance, and then they subtract any other scholarships that you received, and they tell us, or they tell me, this is how much the Utah Jazz has to send us to cover the rest. So that's what I'm told that what that number is. So if there's any like questions about it or discrepancies, we're gonna have to talk to the financial aid office together, because it's not a number that I'm in charge of or that I'm in control of at all.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so we can talk to your individual financial aid office to see how they came up with that, because we're gonna have to go back to the source. And it also may change also, like your cost of attendance is different if you're living on campus, living off campus, or you may have said, I'm living with my parents, then your cost of attendance is going to be different depending on your housing situation. So that could also have affected your total scholarship dollar amount. So if you said I'm living with my parents, but you're actually living off campus, that's something you are going to need to talk to the financial aid office and let them know about. Because the living with parents, the cost of attendance is a lot less because they don't expect that you are going to be paying for room and board.
Other questions?
I don't know what the advertised Utah Jazz wording was. I'll have to look, but it's always been, we'll cover your room and board and tuition costs, which is what we're gonna do. But the thing is, like, financial aid offices are also, they have rules. So like you can't like as a student receive outside scholarships more than what your cost of attendance and other like scholarships provide. For example, like let's say you won not just the Utah Jazz scholarship, but let's say you won the Gates Millennium Scholarship for a full ride, and then you may have won like another scholarship for $5,000. Like you can't have like all of those scholarships. You can only have maxed up to whatever the cost of attendance is, and that's just a federal financial aid rule. That's not like something the Utah Jazz has any control over.
We had a question about Mabel's availability throughout the next couple months. know that Mabel will be updating her Calendly actively to reflect, I think, for the full term, just as we start the school year off. But know that what's available right now is what we anticipate for the upcoming weeks. And so just always periodically check her Calendly for up-to-date availability throughout the next couple months.
And in response to Elias, yeah, we will pay, we will cover the cost of attendance, but only what the cost of attendance for off-campus that the school has come up with. Like, so that example in my with the University of Utah, every school has a different room and board line item or dollar amount, depending on whether you're living on campus or living with parents or living off campus. So whatever that amount is, whatever the school determines that to be, is what you will get refunded to help you pay for rent. So that's, you will get a larger refund check if you live off campus. I hope that makes sense.
If not, we are at time. Please anticipate to know that you have this event happening this Friday from 6 to 8. Reach out to us if you have any questions. But just know that we are here to provide you as much support and context as students. So please reach out to schedule an initial meeting with Mabel throughout the next upcoming weeks to answer your questions for the start of the school year. So feel free to log off for today.